Hi guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. This is episode number 81, and it's our first four-way. It's our first four-way episode. So to be fair, you can introduce yourselves. I'm not going to introduce you because it's going to be in the title. So, Jack, you can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Jack. I'm Jack. Jack. It's asserting my dominance from the off.
Mate, you've done a horrendous intro. It should be, I'm Jack Eagles. I'm the winner of the junior men's physique Arnold 2021. And then you should have said horrendous competition. And you should have mugged me off already. I'm a bit disappointed.
Funny, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Danny, introduce yourself, mate. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Danny. I'm the better looking but smaller bodybuilder. Forever lived in Jack's shadow and happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. Perfect. Right, Finn. Well, you said you're going to moderate this.
This is going to be a mess.
God, I've gone.
Danny's
this is going to be a car crash. This is going to be a horrendous podcast.
Right. So basically, guys, the plan is I'm just going to be the moderator of the podcast. I'm going to direct things when it gets a bit too sort of crowded and everyone's trying to talk over each other. I'm just going to calm things down. Okay. So first things first. If people didn't understand when Jack said that he's asserting his dominance, if you're listening on Spotify, if you go onto YouTube, you'll see what we mean. Actually, I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You have to go and see on YouTube, and then you have to like and subscribe on YouTube as well. And Jack, you have a YouTube, don't you?
Oh yeah, if you can call it that.
You have to go and onto Jack's YouTube and subscribe. Danny, do you have a YouTube?
No, I'm going to say no for safety purposes.
Right, so Danny probably does as well. So try and find Danny's as well. So basically, for people who don't know Danny and Jack, so Jack is the guy that beat Reece at the Arnolds. I think that's his.
That's what his intro is. I think so. He's just known as someone who beat me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's
pretty. You have 40,000 followers, mate. It's my biggest achievement in life.
That's his main claim to fame. And Danny was his coach at the time, but he sacked him since then. And I think that's Danny's biggest claim to fame.
Coach is a strong word.
Yeah, friend who helped him out a little bit.
Friend who just took away some carbs week after week.
So we could probably, we can start if you want, just chatting about that day. Reece and Jack, you can give us your insight into that day.
Oh, great. I thought we might actually go into the background of how they met each other, how Danny started coaching. Let's just talk about how I got beat. That's how we started to, that's how we met them. So let's talk about how we met them. Yeah, that's the day that we met them too. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Well, I know Dan before. Danny was you were at the PCA show, weren't you? That was my first show.
Yeah.
And I remember stepping off stage and like one of the first things my mum said to me was, "Oh, we were with some really nice, like it was a really nice boy that I was with who said he knew you, and like he was with me the whole afternoon." And I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And then she was, I think his name was Danny or something. I can't remember entirely. And then you tagged me in a story. And then I followed you off like that story that you tagged me in. And then I knew that you were coaching Jack, but I hadn't followed Jack. And me and Finn had saw Jack like 8 weeks out. And me and Finn were like, "Oh, this is going to be easy. Yeah, you'll fuck him up." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds. Yeah, he doesn't even look that good." And then I saw him on stage and I was like, "Okay, he actually does look good." And then we ended up competing against each other and he beats me by a point. The only people in men's physique with 1 point in between us in the whole fucking lineup. I mean, that's I'm a bit salty still, if I'm honest, Jack. So that's that.
It was a 10x sponsorship, wasn't it? That's the point.
Yeah, it's literally the only people with 1 point in between are first and second in the whole men's physique division, and you're sponsored by the people that sponsor the Arnolds. I mean, yeah.
Well, I didn't even have a clue you were, to be fair. Like even until backstage, because Danny.
I did, Reece. I did.
My own coach in the hotel room, like the day before we're competing, goes, "There is one other junior I know. He's probably going to beat you. I think he's going to beat you, but then who else? One of your mates said that I'd beat him."
One of my
No, I didn't. No. I didn't say he was going to. No, I didn't. I said he was very good. I said he was very good. I take it back, but I thought he was.
I thought he was good. He wasn't.
Yeah, he saw me. He was like, "Nah, he's too flat. He's way too flat. He needs to go and eat like 4,000 calories next time, like 10 minutes before, and he might be able to get a pump backstage." That's what the peak. I just didn't peak properly. That's what it was. Everything was perfect, but I just didn't plan my peak well enough.
I think you needed more honey backstage. You'd probably been sweet.
Did, to be fair. But yeah, that was pretty much our first meetings. And like, to be fair, it was quite like, obviously, Danny, we spoke, I think actually at the PCA show. So we were chatting backstage, and then obviously me and Jack were backstage together. So I remember like when I was pumping up, I was like, you guys were like 2 people to the side of me, and I was like, I'm just gonna pump up next to you guys, and we were just chatting. Like, I remember it was quite friendly. Probably the most friendly experience I've had.
Is that the Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
It was probably the most friendly experience, because everyone backstage, I always find it's like, it's almost people are like out to get you. It's almost like a competition, you know, already.
No,
before.
I agree. Yeah.
It's like the work's done. Like, you just might as well have a bit of a laugh. Like, we were literally just chatting shit. I think I've said to Jack, like, before we went on, how's my hair look? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I reckon I could make it a little bit better. I was like, I got to look okay for the Instagram photo that will get tagged in. So stuff like that. So yeah, that was that. Jack, anything to add in upon probably the best day of your life, and probably the best day you have?
Well, you got moved into the middle, didn't you? Because then we came off, and I think you thought you had it, because I thought you'd had it as well.
Yeah.
Middle. So I was like, oh right. And then I messaged people, and they were like, literally don't know.
Yeah, literally, mate. That was the exact same impression. Like, it was where obviously I moved into the middle, and I was like, okay, cool, sound. And then when I came off, I could tell by how you were a lot more pumped up going on than you came off. Like, you were a bit, you weren't like sad or anything, but you could just tell. And I remember, I think we both might have had like a quick convo or something. And I think it was like, we both were like, we'll see. Like, we don't really know. And then literally, mate, every single person I spoke to said the same. There was like, well, there's a few things that you're better. There's a few things that Jack's better. And I remember when I said to Finn was like, it's really close. He was like, I think you've done it just based off the where they moved you, but it could go either way. And I was a bit like, okay, cool. Well, we'll just see how it goes. But in the back of my head, it's like, where you get moved to the middle, you end there. You then, like, I knew I was in better condition than you. Granted, you did me in some other areas. And it was like, I was like, okay, cool. I probably sneaked it, I reckon. But if it was like, if I had won, it wouldn't have been like, oh my God, Reece has won. And if you had won, it wasn't like, oh my God, Jack has won. I'd view it like Danny said when we actually spoke at the Mecca for the first time afterwards. Like, not trying to sound cocky, but for 2 juniors in that year, we probably were like the 2 best juniors, bar Axel, the absolute freak of the PCA. Yeah. So, and he would have destroyed both of us. So we did. You beat me. So like, bar that, it was like, it wasn't a flip of the coin. At the end of the day, you beat me, but I think it was a good battle, and it was like one of them where I look back at that day, and afterwards me and Finn went for a walk around the Arnold, like, sport, like, the NEC, and I was like, motherfucker, what the hell. But I look back and I have a lot of actual, like, that was probably one of my favorite competition memories, because it was such a high, a bit of a low, then a high afterwards, when I realized, right, I need to be better. And I feel like, I think in a sense, you take more from the L's, take more from the setbacks.
To be fair,
you're talking a lot. I think you're quite upset, mate. You're trying to justify it to yourself now.
To be fair, I took him for that walk. I took him for that walk because he was going to cry. I was like, let's go for a walk. No, the real reason I took him for that walk is that there was some random girl like trying to give him advice, and I was like, I felt like saying, shut the fuck up, like.
Danny. No, honestly, boys, her name, Alexandra, one of Sanaya's friends, Alexandra. We've never spoke about this on the podcast, and it was fucking awful. Sanaya just said no. Sanaya just we say no. Oh my God! So I've just got off. I've got my second place trophy. I took it off the second.
Obviously, he was like a bit pissed off, like you would.
Yeah, and I was just like, is what it is. My mum comes up to me and she was like, "Oh, I thought you'd won." And then Finn goes, "Don't worry, mate. Like we just were chatting." And then this blonde girl, Sanaya's friend, starts just chatting absolute shit, like the last thing you want to hear. And then randomly pops up with like something about, "Oh, do you know there's a guy competing whose boyfriend?" Finn, do you remember what she said?
I can't remember.
Boyfriend. Like, there's a guy that I'm with whose girlfriend's competing and they're watching them together. Do you not think that's weird? And it was just the most random conversation ever. And Finn just goes, Reece, do you want to go for a walk? And I go, yeah. And I remember my mum just looks at this girl and she just like rolls her eyes and just walks off. We were all just like, what the fuck? It was the weirdest conversation I've ever been in. So we all just kind of like went our separate ways. And then, I just walked around the NEC crying.
One thing that I would say is that when we, like, upon reflection, after we like looked at the photos and stuff, we both said, like, yeah, to be fair, like, it looks as though Jack should have taken it from the photos afterwards. But we also said, like, probably the reason is just more experience on stage. Like, posing was a little bit better. Little things like, just like you said, like standing a little bit over the line, which you wouldn't really realise.
While I was next to him,
Yeah.
like he was edging forward, and I was like, oh. Yeah,
you have
no. This is my second show, and I was high off, like literally, I was high off winning an overall, thinking, oh yeah, sound, I'm all right at this. When in reality, a second show like that. How many shows was that for you? Like your sixth, seventh?
Fifth.
Okay. Yeah. And I just noticed a few things, like literally, like I said, posing, how you were, just a few things that you're just a bit more experienced with. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll take that and I'll learn from that. It wasn't where I took it and was like, oh my God. It was like, no, cool, that's different. This is the difference between someone whose first time was on stage was literally 6 days ago or 7 days ago, whatever it was, in comparison to somebody who's already done a season and they're multiple shows deep in their second season, you know?
To be fair, that's a good little segue. So, Jack, tell us about obviously your first season. I think it was your first season 2020. Yeah, so 2020. So that was the same. You did the same show that I did, but because it was the COVID show, you didn't meet anyone or see anyone, did you? So like I watched you on my laptop because you had the live stream. And there was a guy that you were against who was he was a lot bigger than you.
Yeah, Evan.
Yeah,
he was 3 times the size.
Yeah, but obviously he didn't have he looked all right. He just didn't have great shape. His posing wasn't great. But because I knew you as that guy, so I knew you as that Jack Eagles. Like the year after, to be like beating Reece, I was like, he's not going to beat Reece. Like because I'd seen you as that. Like I didn't know. Obviously, I knew that you'd like gone to be a massive big cheat mate, but I didn't know that you had made that much progress. But we saw you in Rotherham, didn't we? But I didn't realize it was you. Do you remember that? You two were training in Rotherham, and me and Reece were training in Rotherham. Yeah.
I probably.
When was this?
I remember we didn't like them. I remember that. I probably didn't like one of them. I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was. I think it was Finn you didn't for some reason.
I think I didn't like Finn.
I think why you don't like me is because you think I'm bigger than you, and I'm not.
I don't know what it was. Like I completely take it back. I love Finn. I don't know what it was. There was something like I don't know. I think because of the industry though, the way everyone carries themselves, I just thought. I don't know, but I really did. I disliked one of you quite a lot. Yeah, like quite significant.
You were just looking at us like they're balanced. The thing I remember, you were on the chest press, like 2 machines.
Yeah.
And I looked at both of you and smiled. I don't think you were like you smiled back a bit. I was like, oh, sound.
I have no recollection of any of this.
Yeah, no.
Jack's too cool. He doesn't.
Yeah. I just remember thinking, I was like, I think that might be that Jack Eagles, but I don't know because like you literally looked like a child when I last saw you, and now you look like a grown man. I was like, it can't be. This is like less than a year's time. I was like, I don't think it's him, but it was. But yeah, like that was the first time that I'd seen. Well, I didn't know who Danny was, but that was the first time that I'd seen you both.
No one knows who Danny is, mate.
Yeah.
No one knows Danny.
Now they do. Now they do. Now he's been on the podcast, mate. So yeah, I was gonna say. In terms of, like Reece said, with you two, like how did Danny start coaching you?
Yeah, Jack, I'll let you take that one.
So I must have been.
Just tell it like it is.
Yeah, I must have just been turned 17. I was training at this like pure gym type of gym in Burnley. I'm in like the rack. I can't even remember what I was doing. And this staunch little bloke comes like into the rack next to me, just drops his trousers, like literally he's in brief, just drops his trousers next to me, just starts flexing his legs and taking a picture. And I'm like, I have no clue what's going on. I'm like, do you compete then? And we just start talking. So I decided to do that UK DPA show already. So I was like, I was 10 weeks out. I started 10 weeks out and just found some diet online and just started following it. So I was on like 2,000 calories 10 weeks out, and it didn't change till show day, which was smart. But speaking to Danny, because were you on prep or just finished? You were on prep as well. You did the NFM show.
Yeah, I must have been. Yeah, I wouldn't have had my pants down if I was bulking. Yeah.
Yeah, he just pulled his pants down next to me, and then we were in love. And went to the hashtag Mecca like 2 weeks later together.
Yeah.
And then it's been a bit of a weird relationship ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, marriage.
No, fair enough. I'm impressed.
You know, when you did the 2020 UK DFBA show, you also did the NFM. Did you do the NFM that year?
Yeah, I did NFM like a week or two after because Danny was doing it as well.
What were your results that year? Did you win the NFM show? Because you won the UK DFBA show, didn't you? Did you win the UK DFBA overall?
Yeah, I won the men's physique overall. Yeah, and then did what did I do? I did junior men's physique again at NFM and won that, and then did like junior fitness model or something so I could get my legs out. 'Cause I had all right legs. So that as well, and won both of them. Then did like the pro show, but it wasn't really. I just got shat on because I was obviously natural and they weren't.
Were you already deciding like, oh, after this year, I'm gonna like jump on gear anyway?
Danny didn't give me a choice. He literally just pinned me in a corner, got an heel, just
Danny,
bang,
this is
straight in.
This is bad for you, Danny. Danny, you forced a young 18-year-old at the time to jump
A
on
just
vulnerable
18.
child, and look at him now.
Yeah.
He looks about 40.
You wonder how he gets all these good juniors, mate. Now you know.
Yeah. What
Just
actually happened? What actually happened?
I
Nah,
actually don't
pretty much
remember.
that, mate.
I don't remember the conversation, to be honest. I don't. Jack, do you remember?
Really. No, I was on the way back
It was
to Rob
probably-
one time.
It was probably a conversation because I actually obviously care. I probably said something about your potential, right? I'm assuming it was something like that.
Can I
It probably
interject?
was
Danny, were you natural at this time? Or were you enhanced?
when I did NFM.
No, when you were getting Jack on gear, were you natty?
Oh no, I was enhanced. Yeah.
Mate, you're enhanced. I thought you've been natural the whole time.
I thought you were 90 now.
Mate, Danny,
Yeah.
seriously, mate, you're enhanced. Wow.
Yeah.
To be
Mate.
fair, Danny, tell us about your previous like competitive history and give us a background into your story, mate. Tell us your story.
Yeah.
Because we kind of had
starting
Jack
from when? I'm like 45 now. Starting from when?
starting from when you first competed or when you first thought about competing.
Yeah, when did you get into the gym? And also, Jack, actually answer that. When did you start training, mate? Because obviously,
Like you've asked Danny a question, just fuck off, Danny, right
no,
now.
no, Jack. I'm actually interested in both. Jack,
Actually,
when
before
did
you've answered it, Danny,
Yeah.
Jack,
no, because Jack's already given his background, and you said you competed when you were first 17 or 18. So when did you start?
Started prep when I was like 17, yeah. So, but I think by the time I was on stage, I was 18. Like 15, year 10, so 15.
Sound fair enough. And then now, Jack, that's you done, mate. We'll go back to Danny. Danny, crack on.
Right, so I'll try to keep it quick because that could be forever. I started training at 14, a week before I turned 15. I had gyno, so I got surgery when I was 17. And I used to research I used to watch IFBB pros and stuff and all that kind of thing. And then I got the surgery and I started prep immediately after that, the surgery. And I competed when I was 18, natural, obviously, so I was 141 pounds. I did fitness model at Miami Pro in the teen division, and I won that one. And then I thought I was like the world's best bodybuilder for a while. And then
When was this, mate?
that was 19. That was the year. Come on, man! I can't believe you storied that as well. I didn't laugh when I saw that this morning. I was genuinely like fairly pissed off. So then, 19. The year straight after, I did fitness model again, but as like a pro with Miami Pro, and then I did purely in the amateur, and I won like the majority of everything I did there. And then I went assisted properly. I did test in Anavar for that second year of competing, but that was during prep. If I could go back, I wouldn't do that. And then I went assisted properly during a bit of an off season.
So you went from testing Anavar
to assisted properly.
Yeah.
Assisted properly. So
Yeah.
just more tests.
I just don't think it was smart starting literally whilst I was prepping. It was a bit stupid. And then I competed at 20 with Jack in NFM. I won classic at NFM there, and then I came second in the pro show. But I think I won that at the time, but it was NFM, so it was Horster Boy won that one. But yeah, whatever.
Who is it? Who won
that? Yeah, who
that
was
Mustafa. That was Mustafa.
Right.
Is it? I don't know how you pronounce his Instagram.
I know who it is. I know who you mean.
Yeah. And then I did 2 bros, and I won like a shitty class there. I won a beginner class as well, and then I came third to some absolutely scary dudes in the novice, but they were huge, and the guy who won that won the overall. And then 21. I didn't compete when I in 2021. Just move on past that one.
What happened in 2021?
2021 episode. I came 6th. I did PCA at Manchester, and
you
came
6th
6th
at the PTA show?
Yes, yeah, that did happen.
He's brought down to earth. He's properly brought down to earth.
I literally won like 3 years back to back, and then that was just awful. I just ended up like really stringy and like really flat, and came 6th there. And then I did 2 bros, but I was the only one in my class for 2 of them. the week after that, and then I came third in my open class because that was. Do you know Jav or not? He's called Jav Iqbal. He's like 45, but he's like a proper dense little turtle. So he beat me, and that was that. Yeah, I came sixth.
You've
Hopefully, I
fallen
wouldn't
off
show
a bit,
this.
to be fair. Like you started off well, and then it's just been like,
No, I started off well. Like people actually thought I was pretty good, and then last
No,
year
it's just that he
20...
started doing some half decent federations. He started off with like
Yeah.
Miami Pro and those shit ones, and then now it's like, oh, I'll try PCA, and then get shown up.
Yeah, I got beat by 3 naturals, 3 fellow Finns at the PCA. Yeah, that was I didn't sulk.
Who was that?
So the guy who won, he's called Alexander Crump, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you know that all the natties
Yeah.
are so intertwined. You know what
Yeah, we're all best mates.
like,
We've got a natty
all
group
got
chat on
direct.
WhatsApp.
I know. I literally bet you do.
All the naturals in the world are in it.
And then second place was Taff. He's now the pro.
Yeah. Taff's good.
To
be
be
fair,
fair,
Taff's
he was
really good.
big. At the show, he wasn't very conditioned. He was just big. He was like the biggest one though, which is 3K. And then fifth was he was called. Is it? Oh, he's quite little. Is it Dan North or something
Yeah, Dan
like
North's
that?
really good. Mate, to be fair, they're all mint.
That's it. He was really good. He looked good. He wasn't big, but he was so shredded.
They are
He had
all
a
very good.
shape. And my check-ins that morning, I've sent them to Jack. Obviously, if I could, I'd
Jack,
put
send them to us.
there. Yeah, Jack said you
Mate.
can do it. I'll send some after. I'd hold it that it was awful. Like it wasn't me though at all. Like I literally looked like I'd say I looked
You know what
worse than when I was
happened to
like,
me? You know what I look like Denmark on the last show when I just wasted away.
I thought you were going to say what you looked like at your first showing last year.
no, it wasn't that bad.
No, that was nice and full. It wasn't wasted away.
That was very full.
Bit, spilt over.
Just spilled over.
No, he just lost all his muscle, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, I feel like there's so much to talk about. Like literally, just talk about that. I'm like, right, let's get into. I want to hear all of it from Jack. I want to hear all of it from Danny.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly, for people on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to get up the boys' Instagrams. 1 second, if it'll work.
Should have done this before, mate. We just had like a couple minutes where you could have easily done this. Why are you doing this?
Because it's a lot. I can't do it when I'm not recording. You see.
Okay, fair enough.
So look at Jack. Look how famous he is now. 16.8 thousand followers.
Jack, honestly, really famous you are.
I know, right?
To be fair, was it the second you surpassed me? You sent me a message.
Oh, I've been counting it down for days, mate.
Yeah. Well, you smashed me now. Way ahead of me. I need to take gear. I'll get loads more followers.
Yeah.
So this is it. Look, first pinned post.
Still there. Yeah.
Honestly, Jack, can I be honest? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm so surprised why this is. I was hoping after this show season this wouldn't be your pin photo. I was thinking, surely he's going to get some good results, but instead you did awful in comparison, mate. And this is the same one up. It's like, come on, I want you to do well. So you changed it.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed by it though because it's still men's physique, and I'm a real bodybuilder now.
Yeah, I mean, you should
change it, but again, I've not really achieved much since.
Was the goal for the last year, mate? Like, obviously it is now, but the goal prior, when you were heading in, were you thinking, okay, 100%, I'm going to be doing classic and I'm going to be showing my legs, or was it more, how was the transition?
Started with Tom in February last year. It's like almost a year, and said men's physique for this year, and then started prep. Still was just men's physique. I don't even know when we decided to do, because originally it was going to be men's physique, and we'll do a PCA junior bodybuilding show because Tom loves PCA and just wanted a junior bodybuilder. So I was like, fine. Didn't really have a choice. But then, like, as I got leaner, it was pretty clear that I was probably more suited to classic than men's physique. So did both.
Yeah. I mean, I think you know yourself, like you could swing either way. I think long-term potential wise, I think classic's better suited just because I think it suits your frame, and especially, mate, your legs have always been pretty good. It's not like your legs are horrendous,
Look at them on the left there; they're not
better than mine, mate.
Still pretty good.
Better than mine now.
Well, it was natural there. 17 and natural, mate.
Yeah, that's fun. Am I allowed to swear?
Danny, swear all you like, mate.
No, definitely not. We talk about Reece being a paedophile, but you can't swear.
I don't know what I'm allowed to do on it.
Whatever you want, mate.
How far are you going down?
Mate, we're
This is really interesting. Actually, I'm having a good look.
Yeah, it's quite nice, mate. When was this?
It's
Undefeated.
And
in
Jack,
bodybuilding.
I think we should talk about that. Like that was about your look there compared to the rest of them. That'd be an interesting conversation.
I've got a good photo, but I'm posting later tonight. When's this podcast going out?
Monday, mate. You've got.
Oh, that's fine then. Yeah, it'll be on my Instagram by then. There'll be a comparison between this PCA show and my pro qualifier at the end of the year when I've lost all the muscle.
Yeah, but mate, PCA lighting tax. I mean, even I look good at the PCA shows. Like you got to apply lighting tax. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, but I did NFM 2 weeks later and still had a good look, and then I lost it all.
Do you want to tell us about last year, mate? Like what actually happened?
Well, I just over dieted. There's not much to say because we. Like the thing with my physique is I get like my front looks like that from like 6 weeks out. It's similar to Reece. Like my quads will be feathered top to bottom at like 8 weeks out. But then my back's still 20 weeks out. So by PCA, my glutes were in a little bit, but I still had a bit more to come off like my glutes and lower back. So then Tom just kept digging for condition. And when you just get in that mindset where it's like, if I suffer more, I'm going to look better. And you just keep pounding yourself with cardio for no reason, thinking it's going to help. And then just was ridiculously flat going into Denmark. And then the first meal of the carb up to try and not be flat, ended up having something with nuts in. So I went into anaphylactic shock and had to go to Danish hospital. So spent 2 days on the drip.
Do you have have you got a nut allergy?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it just happened randomly because like you'd been that depleted, like you just had like some reaction to actually eating some food.
What were you carving up on? Was Tom like,
it was Danish dark chocolate, mate. It had peanut infused and like in it, and I couldn't check the ingredients because it was in Danish.
Yeah,
so I ate it and then was just fitting on the floor, throwing up on myself.
Is that how bad it is?
It never has been previously, but that time it was awful because paramedics came once and were like, "Oh, we can't take you to hospital because the rules are like a bit strict out there for ambulances and shit." So they were like, "Oh, just eat and drink and stuff." So they were telling me to eat and drink. Tom was telling me to eat and drink. Normally, when I have like a bad reaction, I can't because I just throw up whenever I swallow anything. But Tom was telling me to because I needed to carb up. So I just started pounding cream of rice, and then like 10 minutes later, went into anaphylactic shock again, like really badly, and like had rashes everywhere and couldn't breathe. So then went to the hospital and was on like drips for the whole carb up. So then hadn't eaten or drank for 2 days, and then
drips of what exactly did you say? Can it be highly branched psychodextrin, please? I need to be sure.
Nah, it was just cream and rice, and it didn't go well. And then from that point on, I had 2 weeks till the show in America, and Tom just kept. This was Tom's fault. He just kept pushing me for condition. I kept saying every check, and I was like, "I'm going to be flat, Tom. I'm going to be flat." Because obviously the flight was 2 days before, so couldn't put carbs in prior to the flight. He didn't want to for obvious reasons. So then I had 1 day to carb up on. So I ate like 1,300 grams of carbs. It just went straight through me. I was still lighter and still dead flat. So then I lost to 2 or 3 naturals at that show. 2 naturals. So
I think I'm retiring as the only guy never to lose, as was based off the last time.
Not to lose to a natural.
I've never lost to a natural, so I'm good. So
I've lost to 2.
Yeah, so I've never been beat by a night. I'm doing the enhanced guys here, proud. But fair enough,
Jack,
mate. To be fair, Jack. Oh, sorry, Finn.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like, tell us about what the crack was with your first show last year.
I was thinking then, like, what, PCA? But then I realised obviously
Finn, see if you can view my story. You'll be able to do it on here. See if you can view my story. We'll be able to show the YouTube people what we're on about when it comes to Jack's first.
Yeah, so late. So obviously, I said that when we started prep, the goal was still men's physique, and then sort of like 6 weeks out, Tom and I were like, "Oh, we should probably try classic and men's physique at a pro qualifier," because originally I wasn't even doing a pro qualifier last year. It was just going to be the America show and then a PCA junior bodybuilding show. So then we decided pretty late that we we're going to do a pro qualifier. So looked at dates. The only one that fit was Denmark. And obviously, the 2 bros being so I'm not going to slag off 2 bros. Actually, I want to save my career still. Because 2 bros are the greatest federation ever, and they don't just do it for money, and they treat the athletes very well. You have to do a regional qualifier before you can do a pro qualifier. You don't have to win. You don't have to do anything. You can step on stage at 50% body fat, as I displayed, and get the qualification. It's fine. So the last qualification of the year, August on stage, condition until late November. So I just had to step on. I just did junior classic and was ridiculously fat.
How did you feel?
So Reece actually matched your placing, mate.
I know.
With 0 work. Yeah.
How did you, mate, genuinely, how did you feel? Like, were you going into it like nervous? Were you like, oh, this is going to be embarrassing? Or you just thinking,
No, I woke up the morning, ate 150
No,
grams of Cocoa Pops.
you thought you were
Like, I
right,
ate all my
Aaron.
meals, didn't
I
bother
remember you
pumping up backstage, did my own tan, and then was the guy that beat me was coached by Kuba. So backstage, just speaking to him, and he was a bit, I don't know, he just was, yeah.
I remember you sent me that. You sent me like a check-in the mirror, of Ruby like shaving you or something, and
Yeah,
I was
she's
like,
doing my
Jesus
tan.
Christ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you're actually quite lean because you look pretty good in the mirror. And then I saw that the next day, and I was like, oh my God.
The thing is, right, you know, with stage tan, when you're dead pale, you actually look like you can look a bit leaner. The minute that tan goes on, if you're not shredded, it just like it, I don't know, it washes you out of it. You just look
No, I think
every line possible.
It does wash you out a bit.
And then Mr. JT, which we won't go into, decided to take a photo from the other side of the stage. I looked
Can you see it
worse.
now? It's on the screen, yeah?
It is on screen. Yeah, he just the thing is, I've got photos from that show, and I look far better than I do there. It's just an awful photo.
Yeah, it was a bad photo.
And then I got posted on that, mate, bodybuilder's great again, and it was delightful.
Mate, your waist looks massive there.
It's the same size as Reece's there, to be fair. It's
Yeah.
you did a good job. You did a good job, to be fair, mate. Vacuum's actually pretty good.
Right, Danny, tell us about your Instagram. This is Danny Howarth with 2 Y's. Is that how you actually spell your name, mate?
No, it's just Danny Howarth was taken. So,
was it? To be fair, mate, me and Reece were saying like you've got a good coaching record, a very good coaching record.
I appreciate that. I've done all right so far with that. Yeah, with the competing side.
I gave him his career. I'll take that to the grave.
No, Emily and Stevie have outperformed you.
Yeah, Stevie's really good.
Didn't coach me first.
So Danny, explain. You're prepping currently. When are you stepping on stage? What shows are you doing?
Yes. So I spoke about this earlier with Jack. I am competing. Yes, I am. I believe 15 and a half weeks out of, we'll say, the main show, because the way I do it now is I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket for my first show, because then I end up depleted and tiny for the last ones. Show wise, I said to Jack, I'm going to keep that a little bit like I'm 15 weeks out.
He's working in the shadows and he's not telling us.
Okay, so you're going to be doing a wank federation unless there's a Two Bros show in 15.
No. Good federation, good show. But I'm hashtag in the trenches, and I'd just like to keep my head down for now, if that's all right.
You're working in the shadows, mate. That's what it is. Fair enough. Is there any? I actually want to ask: is there a reason why? Like, is it just because you don't want people to know what show you're doing? Is there you
don't want any natties to turn up and beat you?
Yeah,
there's a few. To be fair, do you want me to give a serious answer or?
Serious answer. Serious answer. Being honest, no one gives a fuck when you're competing. Like, and that's not me being a dick.
Right. I said that's literally what I said to him.
Yeah, like no one gives a fuck. I don't get
my
it.
Answer is no. So my answer is basically, if I'm giving the serious answer, because of the years I've done, and like we said earlier, like I did well in the first 3 years, and you get, like you said, Reece, when you won that overall, you went into the Arnold Junior. You probably thought this was going to be easy because I've won an overall in men's physique. Yeah. So I guess to be honest, like my mental health's not the best anyway. But then when it comes to competing, the amount of pressure that I put on myself is ridiculous. Like I say I don't, but then it gets closer and closer and closer. And all I will do is compare to all the different physiques and stuff. I'll compare to everyone doing it if I know who's doing it. And it just becomes like, I don't enjoy it. Like I started bodybuilding because I loved it. And I didn't compete because I wanted to win. Obviously you want to win, but I didn't do the show only just so I could be promised the first place. And I just wanted to take myself through that. And I just feel like it's more for myself. If I start posting and tagging the exact show that I'm doing, the expectations that I set to be winning that show, winning this one, winning that one, I don't enjoy it. It literally becomes like a chore where I wake up, I'm taking drugs, I'm doing cardio, I'm training just to literally get a medal at that one show. And that's not really, I want to enjoy it again. Because last year I did that for 1 week. Like literally the last week of my prep, I just did it by myself. I didn't talk to my coach for like a week, and I just didn't really have an expectation. I just enjoyed it a bit more. I worried less about, like for my carb up for the show, I worried less about what effect it was going to have in regards to like, oh my God, if I do this, I might not beat this guy. I just literally enjoyed it, brought my best luck, and just had fun on the day. And that might sound cliche, but
no, mate. That's actually, I think, a really good answer.
I think that's exactly how it should be.
Yeah. Like,
Most
I think
people aren't like that, though, are they?
Yeah, if you can accept, like, right, I'm probably going to put too much pressure on myself. Like, I think in that situation, it makes sense. The reason why I said no one gives a fuck is because externally,
No, I
no
agree.
one
No, I know
cares.
what you mean.
To try and that should reduce the pressure.
Internally, if you care, makes sense. Like, I think a lot of people like get into bodybuilding and they put way too much pressure on themselves, and it's like, if you don't get, like, nobody's going to be sat there thinking, oh my god, Danny Howarth hasn't won his class, or Danny Howarth has done this. Like, it's you v you in the cliche saying, but it is. So
I think it's just like, because
go on, mate.
Third call.
It's literally just like I said. It's because, like, obviously I started out easy. The first 2 years of fitness model, I just won everything. I just won it all, and it like, even though they're not big federations, your brain starts to program like winning the show and then winning the next prep, then winning the next prep. Then when I was 20, I won all those things against like the guys in classic, and then the only step up there in regards to like dopamine and the next step up to win is if you've already won an amateur. I know it's only NFM, like it's not IFBB, but once you've beat men in classic when you're like 20 years old, what's the next step up there? It's to then win your pro card in classic, and that was the pressure from 2021 was horrendous for pressure, like proper bad. And then just like the placings, I would have placed a lot better if I actually looked good. I didn't, but it's just the pressure. I want to enjoy it, and I just want to bring my best physique. Obviously, I say this, I'll probably get to 5 weeks out and say the show I'm doing, but that's only if I'm comfortable with myself, just to be like, it's pretty obvious what shows I'm doing anyway. I just don't want to directly put that pressure on saying like I'm going for this title. That's because I just don't want to say that. That's all.
So other than pressure, what went wrong, mate? Was you getting told by your coach last time?
I was just going to ask who was your coach, or who have you been coached by? Because I don't know.
So my first ever coach he's called Patty Lifts. He's a natural bodybuilder. He was all right. He worked well with me. Like, it was just like kind of calories and output. But then I moved on literally only because of pretty much like the drug side of stuff. And then I worked with Joe Ballinger. He was all right. He was a nice guy. We had quite a long coaching relationship. He was there for me sometimes when you need a bit more of a personal touch. But yeah, I just wanted. I don't have anything majorly bad to say. I just wanted to move on and just try something else. And I thought Tom would be a better fit because he reminded me a bit more of me. Like, he's not like, he's very much just, I don't know how you'd put it. Like, he's just very much like, he just says it how it is, and he's pretty chill, and he's not like too much in there with all the other bodybuilders, if that makes sense.
There's
just his own
story
person.
Let's call him out, Danny. This is for you, mate. I'm doing it because I've got your back. Matt Jansen, you're a cunt.
This is what the podcast need more of. Why? Come on, explain.
Oh yeah, no. I signed up with Matt. When was that? I think that was.
No, wait. I think I remember this, and I think I spoke to Jack about it, and he was like, "You got a plan off his wife or something," and it was like a week, and it was so generic. I think Jack told me about this.
Yeah, so I think that was before Tom. It was right after the last prep because I wanted to do better, and my head was all right. I wanted to just do better. So I signed up with Matt, and I think it was, I can't remember the payment up front. It was something like, I think I paid, I couldn't tell you. It was a significant amount of money.
Like $3,000,
because something like that. I can't remember the exact figure. It's like it's a big payment you put down. So that was a big thing for me. But the headspace I was in, I was like full blown, like I'm gonna do whatever I can.
Was it more than like $1.5 grand, $2,000? Like more?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then because I was so convinced that he was going to be good because it's Matt Jansen. I literally thought I'll develop the muscle. I don't know what I was thinking, but then I signed up and he was really nice. But then there's a guy that I competed with. He was a friend he's called Danny Mangan. He was also signing up with Matt at the same time, which is actually probably really lucky. Because we were talking about it, like we were kind of bonding through that, saying like, "Oh, what's he set you? What you doing?" Blah blah. And I remember he sent me his training program, and I was like, "Wait!" I was like, "That's literally like rest pause for rest pause, rep for rep, split for split. That's like identical to mine." And I coach, different people, and sometimes a very similar training split is fine. But considering if you've seen Danny Mangan's physique compared to like mine, the difference in it's crazy. Like, he's a lot bigger than me. He's got very different body parts that are strong and weak compared to me. And then I remember seeing the diet, and I was like, wait, hang on, are we on the same like calories and the exact same food? And I was like, wait, send me your drugs as well. And then we had the exact same drug protocol, the exact same food, the exact same training, everything. And And at that point, I was just like, I don't really want to sign up with someone who's literally just going to be sending me a literally copy and pasted process. Like, he doesn't care about me as an athlete. So I had a huge argument with him. I ended up calling him. No, he called me, I think, because he panicked. Because I told him that I have screenshots and everything of the fact that he's literally copied everything. And then I think it's the phone number. And then the last straw was me and Danny both had different contact numbers that were checked in through on WhatsApp. So after speaking to someone else, I don't remember who it is, his wife gets back to half of the clients, I think. So I think I was checking in with his wife, or Danny was checking in with his wife, and she just replies saying like, yeah, good, change this, do this, or whatever. So it's not even Matt. And then we had a big argument. I got my refund, and that was pretty much it.
At least you got your refund, mate.
Yeah, I was pretty terrified I wasn't going to get that, to be fair.
Is the other guy still coached by it?
No, he stopped as well. Yeah. I think he got his money back as well.
Cam Mackay was coached by him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I think I messaged Cam about it as well.
Yeah,
I talked to Cam about that. I think he said he was shit as well.
That didn't last long, did it? It was like a few weeks and he went straight back to Cuba.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Cam didn't like him.
It's a shame that just because somebody's got a big name that people think, oh yeah, they're bound to be amazing as a coach. Like, obviously, I know he's got like a few Olympians, but I guarantee like they're all he focuses on, and everyone else is just money. Like,
yeah.
But no, thanks for bringing that up, Jack.
That's right.
Yeah. Anything else? Jack, Danny, anything before we get into the questions? Anything?
Any other drama?
Throw under the bus? Anyone else? Stories, anything like
two bros, Mister. No, I'm not sure.
I don't think
Jack, you need to be careful, mate. You need to be careful. I'm associated with them.
Jack,
I'm doing the JT Classic. I need JT to love me this year.
Jack has a good relationship with Lee, don't you, Jack?
With who?
With Lee from the UK FBA. Gets you on stage and everything.
Oh no, I'm with is it Christian, the other judge? Yeah. Because I met him he was at Metcon the week before that UK FBA show. I don't think Lee has a clue who I am, mate. It was Christian that mentioned it to him.
Mate, he knows who you are, but he knows you're on gear now. And Lee hates
he knows you as that small child that won one of his shows, and then he sees this big bloke, and he's like, apparently
that was a fantastic ego boost, mate. Going on stage with all the natties, unreal, mate. I felt great.
Yeah, you looked great, mate. Did you hear me boo?
It was like standing at Reece against back. It was a similar feeling.
I was at the back of the arena. Boo, boo, boo. That was me.
You on gear? Get him away.
As soon as he graced the stage, I was like, get him off that natural stage. Right. Questions. Did you get many, mate?
I got a few. Did you get any?
I got a few, yeah. I got a few that are like asking for all of us, so I think they'll be quite good ones. This one is
about his career.
Huh?
Jack, go for it. Why don't we start?
Yeah. Jack's got a question, I think.
Oh, obvious.
So, right. I've put a lot of thought into your career, Reece, because I'm a big fan. Okay. This is a genuine question. I don't know if you thought this far ahead. Okay, so this year you're doing a pro qualifier, right?
Yeah.
Men's bikini.
Yeah, men's bikini. Yeah, not showing my legs.
Right. So options are you turn pro. Fantastic. Yeah. Well done, mate. You scraped your pro card. Probably didn't deserve it, but we'll wait and see. You then turn pro. That's you're done. You're never going to win a show again. Now you're a pro. So like, do you really want to turn pro? That's that. So that's option A. Option B is you don't turn pro. And then we all know the feedback will be like, you waste the fridge, you're too big, right?
Then at
that point, you can't do men's physique again. So then it's either you're going to do open bodybuilding. But if you do open bodybuilding, you're never going to win a show anyway because
I'm not doing that.
So you basically, mate, you're going to turn pro and that's it.
Yeah, I know. But
you don't turn pro and that's it.
I think this is where me and you are different. You're very much, I think, associated towards stepping on stage and competing. And I feel that's wicked. That's fine. I get the enjoyment from the training side of things, and I compete as a result of my training. So if I didn't compete, I would still be tracking my food. I'd still be doing my cardio. I'd still be training. Like if I was to be banned from competitions. So nothing really.
Being a paedophile. Sorry.
Yeah, nothing really changes with what I do because I've been just doing it for as long as I really have been, and what I've been doing for my life pretty much. So if I was to get a pro card, And it was where, let's say I was like, okay, an average to good pro or even a shit pro. I'd be like, okay, cool. That's my ceiling. I'm quite real with where I know my ceiling will probably be. But at the same time, if I was to, let's say, go and, because I wouldn't be able to make classic weight. I'd fucking struggle. I need to bring up my quads relative to my upper. And so it would be a case where if I was to go pro men's physique and I was to realize, okay, I'm probably not going to really be stepping up the ladder. I'd probably have extra pounds to play with and I'd probably be able to go to classic. I wouldn't ever be able to do open. But with where I'm at, my goals aren't going to be like, okay, I want to be the best men's physique guy in the world. I treat it like I do, but I more so enjoy the process. So my goals aren't like, okay, I want to step, training hard, training heavy, pushing myself in the gym and loving the actual process. So that's almost how it works for me. Where I think for you, also,
I just feel really bad for your kidneys now, though, because the stress they're going through for nothing at this point. You're just pounding them into the ground. You're not even going to get like a decent trophy for it.
Jack, what is your goal long term?
Just beat Reece at whatever show he does. That's it. I'm actually on prep now for 16 weeks, whatever it is.
Whatever he's doing. What is it actually?
I don't know. Turn pro this year, next year. It's one of them. I was speaking to Jimmy and Danny about this. Like, I suit classic now, and I can make weight just about now, which is probably why I'm gonna have to compete this year because of the weight cap. And then I'll get a pro weight cap. Great, we'll see what I can do with that. But then it's like, unless I'm at the top, like upper end of pro classics in the future, while still in my weight cap, that's fine. I'll be happy with that. But if I'm not, then it's like, right, because I'll be still pretty young. It's like you're sort of going to have to go open if you want to still pursue something, if that makes sense. So I don't know. At the minute, it's obviously turn pro and get as far as a pro with classic as I can. But realistically, will I just grow too much to be able to do that?
Yes.
I don't really want to go open. So
yeah.
What about you, Danny?
I mean, Danny's main goal is probably just not fall off for like 3 or 4 months.
Right, see, no, you see, the thing is, you know what? No, you see, right, no, that's funny you just said
No,
that.
no,
Jack, I want to say, when Jack just asked you that question, I laughed at first and I felt bad because I listened to your answer. And you know what, Reece? You know what, Jack? We'll dig in further. Fuck you, Reece. I was actually thinking, I was feeling bad for you then as well. The fact that you've just come at me like that. No, to be honest, I'm going to make you feel bad. Yeah, that is one of my goals, to not fall off. In regards to competing, I would say it's changed from last year. Not in a negative way, but I was like, me and Jack in lockdown would literally just, like, when we trained with our friend Alex, we would literally just watch like pro qualifiers on the TV whilst we trained.
Not all we watched.
Yeah, like dwarfs fighting and stuff as well. But like,
we'd be training, we'd have like midgets wrestling on the TV.
Yeah, right. But we were watching a lot of pro qualifiers, and my goal was always like, I have to be a classic pro. I want to be a classic pro. I want to do all that. But to be honest, again, it sounds cliche, but I feel like I've matured a lot in the past year with this mindset, and it's healthier. Honestly, I can't really give an answer. I just really want to enjoy this year of competing. I want to kind of redeem for me my last year because I look shit, and I know that I have a pretty good shape. Like when I'm actually shredded, I know that. So I just need to actually bring a good package. Upstairs, downstairs, that's already sorted. And then
he's proud of that, isn't he?
I was hoping.
We've seen your package in those tiny pink trunks.
I was hoping to get me eye contact with Jack then, not Finn. That was a bit awkward actually. But yeah, I would say my goals, like I want to bring a physique that I'm really proud of. I do want to win a decent show, and then go from there. Like the classic pro thing that's proper back burner at the moment. I just want to.
You're gonna have more of an issue than I am, to be fair.
With weight,
with making weight in classic, like in a year or two from now.
Yeah, well, it's not. I'm not worried, to be fair. I want to bring a good physique and enjoy it and win some good shows.
Go open bodybuilding with Reece, so you can make the fourth call out first.
Yeah, we'll be.
Oh, actually, I was about to ask Reece. So, are you going to do a classic show at any point?
No.
Everyone wants you to do one though. Why not?
Because I wouldn't be able to make the weight relative to bring my.
No, but like, yeah, but you could do classic anywhere. Like you could do classic anywhere, like PCA, NFM. There's plenty of like federations where you could do it.
PCA, is there weight caps or not?
No, there's no weight cap.
Okay.
It's
well,
insane.
Yeah.
It's harder than the Olympia.
Yeah, even though like this was kind of against what I just said, I am in a weird way. Like, I'm not going to be like I'm a perfectionist, but I'd want to actually apply myself to. If I was to show my legs, I'd want to be actually like not proud of them, but I'd want to feel like I've worked.
This is the only compliment I'm. No, 1 minute. This is the only compliment I'm going to give you, Reece, and that's it, because you've been horrible to me. I do not understand what you're talking about with your legs. I don't. They are huge.
Yeah, in fairness, they are.
Your quads are huge. Your hamstring sweep is huge. I don't understand.
My quad sweep, my vastus lateralis doesn't exist. I have probably the same as Finn, and it's more so how wide. Because my top line, my top line is very wide. So when you look at my quads, if I'm in shorts, you look at my legs and go, "Oh, your legs are really good." But if I was to pose, you would literally look at me and go, "Why is there no quad sweep? And why is your top line as low?"
The issue here, it's not your legs being too small; it's your waist being too fucking massive. Right?
There we go.
If you had a small waist, it would come in and then it'd go out. You'd have a lovely X-frame, right? Because you've got that absolute melon around your midsection.
Huge waist.
There's just no shape.
It's just his lower back fat.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's not even the mate. My waist is actually tiny. It's just I can't get my back clean.
It just never gets clean.
It just comes around the side. So my lower back fat just kind of comes around because it actually starts pushing forward. I have no stomach fat, and it just starts to erode like around the corners. And I'm like, oh, great. Added 4 inches onto my waist just because I've got fucking horrendous body fat distribution.
Right. Good question for this year. Are you going to fix your posing?
I'd say so. To be fair, if I'm honest, mate, the second show, by the finals, I was actually pretty happy on my posing. But the second show, I was like, mate, against you, like my front shot, it was a hybrid between a front and a side.
Yeah, you're side on. You've got like your back lat's not showing at all. You're just
yeah. And mate, it's stunning how it was only 1 point between us as well with that posing. Like if you pose like that, I would have fucking smashed you.
Jack, move out of the way so that we can see.
Oh shit!
Your background.
Yeah, look. Well, he's all right there, and I still twatted him. So, but the actual photo,
move out of the way the other way. The guy next to you is the best guy.
Yeah, mate.
There we go.
He got a better back than both of us. To be fair, his back was actually decent.
Yeah, his back was in condition.
Yeah. Ours are awful. Yeah.
Right. So this kind of carries on to this question, right? So this guy, Tom Chisholm. Don't know how you pronounce your surname, mate. But thank you for Chisholm. Thank you for the question. So create the worst physique possible with each other's muscle groups, condition, etc.
Danny. Done.
Reece's.
I thought it'd be me and then done. To be fair.
No. Worst.
Reece's weight.
No. Let's go ground up. Okay. So,
right. Reece's face.
My calves.
Yeah, Finn's calves. Hamstrings. I'd say it's Finn. Quads.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah, Finn. Sorry, mate. The lower body. Clearly, my waist.
I feel like this is not fair though, because this isn't fair on Finn.
But also, I think I think
Finn's a really good natural bodybuilder. This isn't a fair question, though.
No, but what I'm going to say now is like, right, if I think we should go off that person's individual. It's like calves, 100%. My calves are horrendous on me.
Right.
My hamstrings are horrendous on me. You know what I mean? But if we were to look at it from like your perspective of what is good on your physique and what is bad on your physique, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, it is literally just me because I'm the smallest.
Yeah.
Apart from Danny,
sorry. You're not the worst looking though.
I'm bigger than Danny.
You've got good glutes.
Yeah. I haven't.
Yeah, to be fair, there's quite a lot going on back there. Finn.
Right, so abs, me, 100%, surely. Chest, me, again, probably.
What's happened to your chest, by the way? Why are you flat benching?
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Stupid. Move on.
No.
Stupid.
But let's not give him the time to justify it. He's an idiot.
You can't justify that.
Doesn't know how to write a program.
No, my chest is actually pretty good other than when I'm flat. That's the one thing that goes. It's similar to what you probably mentioned, Jack, with what
From
happened.
the side, it looks quite large.
My chest is good. It's just really flat. I didn't fill up enough. And like now,
I said from the side.
Danny, how's your chest? You got a good chest? Finn, your chest is
my chest is okay. My chest is all right, to be fair. I'd say I'll say my back. That's fair. That is worst. That creates the worst physique.
Arms.
My back.
Finn's probably got the best arms out of us all, which is.
I've got pretty good arms.
Yeah, Finn, you've got the best arms, I'd say.
I think everyone's got pretty good arms here, right?
Jack's forearms.
Yeah. Jack's hands are massive.
Yeah.
We said worst.
Look at that. It's like a spade. Just like oof. Look at my hand compared to that. Fucking hell.
Fair from the back.
The back of it, mate. Crazy. You know, I actually got asked a question: who would win in like, I don't know if it was a slapping contest, and I didn't even want to ask because I was like 100% Jack. Jack's like hands are literally 5 times the size of a normal human's hands. They're silly.
Are a bit like just meaty, you know.
You know, before you ever took growth, were your hands a normal size, or did you always have like quite big hands?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's kicked in yet, mate. So yeah, his hands
his hands have been like that for ages.
Weeks ago. So it's not even done anything yet. So yeah, that's just So God knows what they're going to turn into, mate. It's going to be awful.
They're literally like wider than they are long.
Yeah, they are just a bit. They're like, yeah.
Be a good goalkeeper, mate.
Yeah. Right. So we've got asked, when are you lot training together? Plus Josh Bogdani. Why has Josh Bogdani got an invite to the?
Who's asked that?
Hazik.y.
Definitely Josh Bogdani's fake account.
Yeah, that's definitely like, when are you guys training? Plus Josh Bogdani. Why Josh Bogdani? Why has he just created he's just got
just spawned into the gym?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You've trained together, haven't you? You 3 have trained together, and I was away.
When are you prepping, Jack? This is to answer that question.
I don't know yet. We know the show, but we don't know when we're starting prep because we want a short prep because
it could be a decent session because me and Reece are prepping.
I'll be you guys will have finished by the time I prep.
Oh,
mate,
I still
I'll be going to the Olympia, mate. My prep's carrying on. I'll be
There's no hope for you.
Reece, what PCA show are you doing again?
Either the last one in April or the first one in May, depending on how. I'm just going to sign up when I'm like 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out.
Okay, right, yeah, same. I'm doing the same.
Yeah, fair enough. Right. Also, Finn, do you want to go through any questions? I got a few more.
I've got like 5 minutes. I'm gonna have to shoot.
Sound, that's cool.
One that said.
No one cares about me on here anyway. Though, so it's
no, I need to be on in 5. So to be fair, we've got 3 minutes. We'll wrap it up quick.
3 minutes. We'll do. Yeah. What's the secret to success in life? Right, we won't really do that one in 3 minutes.
He's not worked that one out yet, mate.
The worst possible gym outfit, brands, accessories, etc. This can go on the physique we've just made. So it's my calves, my hamstrings, my quads, me, and then a bit of Danny as well, and Reese's fat waist.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for that,
guys. Gasp is the worst outfit.
Gasp is the worst, mate. Gasp is for
big Danny.
I can't. Sorry?
You're clearly not a bodybuilder, mate, if you're saying gasp is the worst. You can only be a bodybuilder if you wear gasp.
I can't stand gasp. I was going to make a story the other day, but I chose peace.
Fair enough. So what, full gasp?
It just proves nothing. It just proves nothing wearing gasp. The amount of like 110-pound natties wearing gasp now down to their ankles is just.
Finn. That's why.
That dig at me, mate.
Yeah.
You won't be coming on the podcast again if it was.
I've never seen you wear gasp. To be fair, I didn't know you did that.
I have a few gasp pieces.
Yeah. Nice.
But they're not like
the gasp warriors I hate. The ones in the oversized like baggy joggers. Then like the oversized jumper. It's like, mate.
And then the stripy pajama pants don't do it for me either.
Yeah.
Awful. There was a phase where AJ, I don't know if you know AJ Morris. I mean, natural bodybuilder. AJ Morris, the best natural bodybuilder of all time. He was like wearing like these oversized like quilt things, like 2000, like a headband, and they were like, and this is like in 2021. And mate, people were doing the same, and it's like that was the original. And then Danny, I don't think it was that funny. But carrying on from that, Gasp just kind of ran with this oversized baggy jogger sort of situation.
To be fair, it's the same now though. Like AJ wears NBW or Be Epic, and it's what all the natties wear. You got to just follow what AJ does.
Yeah. Right, sound. Should we wrap it up? We've got a minute left, guys. It's been great. I feel like we could talk all day. I feel like we do need for a part 2 because the whole part of it, the start of the introduction, like it's just an intro. I've actually preferred the second part where we were just chatting a bit of shit about me. Cheers, Jack.
Right, bud. Just get better. It's not hard.
Yeah, I know. Cheers.
Wear a waist trainer. Secret to life, mate. Waist trainer. Definitely works.
Cheers. Thanks, pal.
I'll send you a link to one. We'll get you a good one, mate.
Awesome, mate.
Or
right.
maybe 3.
Yeah, I'd reckon about 3, mate. You know.
Fit.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll put 3, connect them together so it can just quite make it round.
Great, lovely. Right, awesome. Anything you boys want to leave us upon before it kicks us off?
I hope your pec's feeling better, Reece.
Thank you, mate.
I don't.
But you need to just stop flat benching.
Yeah,
I hope it's feeling better. Seriously, I do wish you the best with that. I want you to do well.
Thank you. Right. Sound for your time, boys. Very good podcast. Very good episode.
Lovely.
Cool. Right. We'll catch you guys next week.